What's up, a Cinema Shogun here, and as this Ezra Miller situation continues to just spiral out of control, it's getting hard to keep up with all of the allegations and controversies swirling around Ezra Miller. But for those of you all who have been paying close attention to this situation, then you know that one of the latest things that came out about Ezra Miller is that this woman and her 3 young kids are now living with Ezra Miller on his ranch. And they're living in unsafe conditions with firearms and ammunition all around the house. One kid was found sucking on a bullet like a pacifier. And we know that Ezra Miller is obviously unstable. So everyone has been worried about these kids, including the father, who has been desperately trying to get them back. Now, the mother of these 3 kids who is living with Ezra, her original story as to why she ran off with Ezra is because her baby father was a bad guy that liked putting his hands on her, if you will. But it kind of never made sense that you would run away from one guy that likes hitting women and run into the arms of some other. You can't even call Ezra Miller he's a guy, but he doesn't want to be referred to as a guy. But you run into the arms of another guy who's been in headlines for beating up women for the last couple of years. So that never really added up to me, that little story. Now, I know that most people assume that Ezra Miller is gay and that Ezra Miller doesn't like women. But that's not the case. Yes, Ezra Miller tries to say that he's non-binary and he's trans or what have you. Now, some people in that community would argue that doesn't mean that he doesn't like women, but hey, whatever. I'm not here for that debate. The fact is, a lot of people are under the impression that Ezra doesn't like women. But in fact, it is the exact opposite. In fact, all of those photos that you see of Ezra Miller dressing in a way that would make you think that he's gay, wearing women's clothes, they're all on red carpets. They're all photos that are taken at events. You see, Ezra Miller likes dressing up like a woman and playing into this non-binary trans role when he's on the red carpet. And he's trying to impress Hollywood and get his latest movie role. But in reality, when you see Ezra Miller outside of that Hollywood bubble, he presents himself as a male. And basically, exclusively, he's only seen sleeping around and dating with women. So this whole little act that he's putting on is exactly that. It's an act. And it turns out, after doing some digging, this woman that's at Ezra's little ranch, she's not there like, an innocent non-binary, Ezra Miller swept me away and he had no, sexual intentions with me. He just wanted to save me from a bad situation. No, that's not the case at all. In fact, this woman is, at least in her mind, under the impression that she is in a relationship with Ezra Miller. Going through her social media posts, I found this one photo of an action figure, or of 2 action figures. I can't remember the name of the woman action figure here, but to the right is Flash. And the caption says, "Oh, look, it's me and Bae." Now, the woman action figure is, of course, supposed to represent the woman that is at Ezra Miller's house. And the Flash, we all know who that represents. So she's calling Ezra Miller Bae. And then as I'm looking, she commented on an Ezra Miller photo and says, "The bone structure, though," with a couple of emojis, basically insinuating that this photo of Ezra Miller is getting her wet. Now, if this is a totally innocent situation, between a woman and a guy who doesn't even like girls that just tried to rescue her, then I doubt there would be stuff like this on social media. You see, Ezra Miller didn't come to save this woman from a bad situation at all. Ezra Miller realized that maybe she was in a bad situation, realized that she was in a weakened state, took advantage of that, and turned this woman into just another cult member, another little sexual plaything of his. Now, why do I say cult member? Well, if you go back on my channel, there's tons of evidence and tons of stuff that we've discussed that would lead you to believe that Ezra Miller is starting a cult. Ezra Miller likes to refer to himself as the second coming of Christ. In a since deleted social media post that I was able to obtain from this woman who is living with Ezra Miller, she commented under another picture of Ezra Miller and said this: when they said Jesus was going to come back, this is what they actually meant. Now, she quickly deleted this post for obvious reasons. I mean, Ezra Miller is being accused of grooming little kids with cult-like behavior. As I've laid out the past evidence for you all in past videos, there's a lot of cult-like behavior there. And here she is saying that if this isn't Jesus, if this isn't the second coming of Jesus, then I don't know what is. That Ezra Miller is the second coming of Jesus Christ. But you see, when I saw that comment, I knew that that wasn't just someone being over dramatic and trying to over compliment someone. No, because Ezra Miller refers to himself as the second coming of Christ. So when she's commenting under this photo, saying that if this isn't Jesus, when they said that Jesus was going to come back, this is what they actually meant. And then that can lead you to believe that she means this literally. Literally. Now, she's done some little Q&As on her Instagram. Someone asked her, where did you meet Ezra Miller? In which she replied, at a farmer's market in Hawaii. So Ezra Miller was just walking around this farmer's market, found a woman who he thought looked kind of interesting. She looks like she's down with all of that non-binary type stuff, you know what I mean. Talked to her for a moment, realized that she was in a tough situation possibly, and took advantage of that. Someone then asked, you dating Ezra and he got money, so why are you a stripper, girl? Respect to you for working for your own cash, mama. These people are so effing cringy. Your kid's walking around with bullets in their mouth. You're sleeping at a house with a guy who has literally just been accused of grooming 12-year-olds. And you're sitting here answering ratchet-ass questions on Instagram. You are a straight bum. This girl is despicable, trash, dirt, a straight bum. And they're talking about, get that cash, mama. If she was getting that cash, she wouldn't have to move to all the way to Vermont or wherever the hell Ezra Miller is living and become his little sex toy in order to provide for her kids. This is despicable. This is her reply. I was a stripper before I met Ezra, and he actually respects my craft. So there is no reason for me to stop. This is about me and my own artistic career. He definitely spoils me, but I would never stop my grind. And it's not about money. It's about being the best performer that I can be. So this woman in her mind, she's under the illusion that she's this crazy artistic artist, but she's just a stripper. Now, I have nothing against strippers. I have nothing against people on OnlyFans. Get your money how you get your money. I respect it. I have no problem with that. I want you all to understand that I'm not looking down on this woman for being a stripper. I'm looking down on her because of the situation that she has put her kids in. And she's sitting here acting like she's got all of this stuff going for herself when she doesn't. Yeah, maybe you twirl around a pole while your kids are at home getting Lord knows what done to them by Ezra Miller. But that's about it. So Ezra Miller has this woman caught up in these delusions that, oh, I gotta go about my artistic career. It's always the same thing. When these young women get snatched up by these dudes in Hollywood, they always convince them that, oh man, you're so talented. You're so artistic. Yeah, man, you're going to be the next big star. I can help. I can help you. I can elevate you. You're going to be the next big thing. Next thing you know, 10 years have passed. You have done nothing but blow this dude nonstop. Literally, you have done nothing. You have nothing to show for it but the fact that you've given this dude unlimited BJs, thinking that your career is going to skyrocket. This woman has no talent. She's a freaking idiot, obviously, because of the situation that she's not only put herself in, but she's put her kids in. But she talks in ways on her Instagram profile like she thinks that she's all that. Like she's God's gift to man. And like she's got all of this stuff going on. Like you're a broke, worthless piece of trash that clung to Ezra Miller and is knowingly allowing your kids to get groomed by Ezra Miller. These kids are already calling Ezra Miller their daddy, and I'm sure he's going to instill his cult-like beliefs in them. In fact, I would say that when Ezra Miller saw this girl, he was probably more so in it for the kids as opposed to her. But make no mistake about it, they are together, or at least in her mind, they're together. So she says here that Ezra spoils her. I guess that's why you're sticking around. It's all for the money. Her kids are for sale, basically. But Ezra's still allowing her to strip. He's still allowing her to post erotic videos online because she's so artistic. Oh my God. Delusional. Absolutely freaking delusional. Now, there's a lot of other stuff that I've seen, and maybe I'll go over on another video, but I don't want to talk about all of that for too long because there's something else that recently came to my attention that's really disturbed me. I don't like this woman that's living with Ezra. From the stuff that I see her saying, from her attitude, she's an egotistical, really just complete idiotic bimbo who thinks that she's like some successful, like the next Vincent van Gogh or something. But she posted a few photos the other day, and in the photos you could see bruises all over her body and what looks like bite marks. And I mean, like, she posted these photos like she's proud of it almost. I'm looking at these pictures and I'm like, you got to realize that you have several very visible, pretty large bruises all over your body. Some that look like they were caused by bite marks all over your body. And she's posting it like, here I am, yeah, look at me. Give me all the attention. Yet there's freaking bruises all over her. I'm talking on the arms, the hips, the sides of her body, you name it. Bruises all over her. Now, we know for a fact that one of Ezra Miller's past little girlfriends came out and said that Ezra Miller would bite her. And she showed bite marks on her. Bite marks that were done to her when she didn't want it to happen. You understand what I'm saying? So this is really getting me concerned at this point, because regardless of how stupid this woman is, her kids are still there in this situation, and she's still stuck in this situation. I don't want anything bad to happen to this woman. I don't want this to go too far, but it's obvious when she's posting these pictures that it's already gone too far. Now, for the life of me, I can't understand what is really going on here. Meaning that, is she proudly showing off these bruises? Is this a sign that Ezra Miller has left his mark on her? And that he owns her in some way? Because some people sexually have those weird type of kinks. And I'm not here to kink shame. But when you have this guy who's got all of these controversies surrounding him like Ezra Miller does, and you have this woman who you know is basically part of his little cult, who's allowing her kids to be subjected to whatever nonsense Ezra Miller has going on, you really have to start worrying. Is this really some type of a cry for help in a way? Maybe it's something that she doesn't even realize, but subconsciously, is this a cry for help? Because there's no getting past the fact that these bruises are completely obvious in these photos. Is this something that she posted? So a couple of years from now, she could leave Ezra Miller and accuse him of all type of stuff just like everyone else is doing? I think that's a possibility as well. Maybe she's already planting the seeds to be the next victim that comes out and speaks against Ezra Miller, looking for another paycheck. Maybe this is a backup plan. Hey, if me sitting here being Ezra Miller's little sex toy, allowing Ezra Miller to groom my children isn't enough, and Ezra Miller tries to get rid of me, and I no longer know how I'm going to feed my kids or what I'm going to do with myself because I'm a complete failure at life, then maybe I will go ahead and reference back these photos that I posted when I was with Ezra Miller, completely covered in bruises. There's something here, not sure exactly what it is, but this woman's obviously being hurt. She's obviously in danger. And at this point, there's really nothing that anyone can do about it. I am absolutely flabbergasted that this stuff is just allowed to go on. I don't know why charges or something hasn't been brought against Ezra Miller as of yet. But the more and more this is allowed to go on, the closer and closer we get to what I feel like is going to be a complete catastrophe that's going to cause multiple people to lose their lives. But we can only sit here and watch as things play out. I've tried to do what I can do. I'm continuing to do whatever I can do. But we have to... There's really nothing that we can do, like, to a certain extent. Like, we have to hope that law enforcement and the powers that be at some point take this stuff seriously. And they can look past the fact that Ezra Miller's non-binary and all of that stuff and stop being afraid of holding him accountable for his actions. But let me know your thoughts about this down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all on the next video.